Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. All those that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those are visible also filled, permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman still is full, although the entire universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are back to reading of the Shwetashwatara Upanishad, and one of the beautiful, charming places we have gone through, and that's in this beautiful meditation. This is also a beautiful verse for meditation. Mostly the Upanishad is for meditation. Just it makes the mind think far beyond our limited perception of the world and our body consciousness. So here we have read the verse number 6, where we heard that about the two birds. Two birds, Dwa Suparna. Two birds, Suparna. Suparna means bird. Sajuja, they are not separable. They're same. All the time is there. And their friend, or eternal friend, Sajuja, Sakhaya, they're Sakha. Sakha means eternal friend. Never can be separated. True friendship never goes away. So they are connected together and they're eternal friend to each other. Samanam Bhiksham, and the same tree. The body is the tree. In this body tree, the two birds, the Paramatman and the Jivatman. Jivatman is the reflected consciousness, which is I, this body-mind complex. And the upper bird is the pure consciousness. So, Samanam Bhiksham Purishasya Jate. Purishasya Jate means they reside, they live together in the same tree. One in a higher plane, another in the lower plane, which identifying with the senses and the body and mind, and another level is high up, beyond that. And out of this, Tayo Annaha Pippalam Sadhu Atti. Pippala and Sadhu. Sadhu means sweet. Pippala means fruit. There, the one bird, Tayo, out of them two, Anna, one, and one of them, Pippalam, many fruits, Sadhu, sometimes sweet in our life. Really good, pleasurable taste, experience. And happy, very happy, dancing, singing, chirping. And now eat something, Pippalam Sadhu Otti. That means you are eating, relishing the fall, a fruit. They relish the fruit. What? Good food, bad food. Both the experiences of good and bad, happiness and joy, pleasure and pain, this lower bird is always experiencing. When sometimes very happy, does it sometimes very unhappy, sometimes depressed, sometimes very spirited. So this is happening. And anasnananno, there is anno, another, who does not eat anything. He does not use the senses to perceive the things of the world. And mind is not engaged here, but he is an onlooker. He is perfectly, he does not get attached to anything, neither to detach, neither to attach. He is an onlooker, just in his own glory, own majesty, is eternally peaceful. So these are the happening, the two story, very beautiful analogy to think in our body, this Jivatman is a reflection of the supreme consciousness, Paramatman. And Paramatman is reflected in the heart, in the lake of the heart, which is Jivatman. And Jivatman, with the help of the mind and the senses, perceiving these entire experiences of the world, and sometimes becoming happy, sometimes becoming unhappy, sometimes becoming very excited, sometimes depressed. This is the condition going on. And but another bird is inside in us, all of us, Sakshi. That's called the I consciousness, which is behind every one of us. He does not do anything. The jiva experiences now. We are the jiva. I am experiencing this nice food, sweet food, tasteful or not tasty. All the through the senses, the skin we are thinking it is cold, here it is warm. All these experiences we are doing in the waking state, we are doing in the dream state. But I am that Paramatman, that supreme consciousness, which is called the upper bird. Upper bird is always here, calm, serene, untouched by anything. Whatever comes, it matters little. It is neither creating joy, neither creating sensation to that. It is an onlooker. That I, scenes after scenes are coming and going and coming and going, but coming and going. So this, but he is not touched by anything, and he is eternally free. So just imagine every day this is a this body is a dwa suparna. Two birds are there. One bird is this lower bird, is a reflected consciousness, and it is that through the use of this mind and all the sense organs of perception and action, enjoying this universe of gross reality, enjoying the universe of the dream world, and experiencing the dreamless sleep also. And sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. This is life, nothing but that. And this is our present jiva condition. But there is a consciousness behind upper bird. And it's all the time watching everything. Because of that light, everything is reflected. Everything become aware. And then when you get tired, that's why you call. See, spirituality starts here. When one becomes tired of this jiva reflected consciousness, when he's tired of experiencing the things of the external world, seeing, tasting, touching, and trying to find joy and eternal bliss, fail, always moving in between the duality. This moment happy, this moment unhappy, this moment good, this moment bad, run by the impulses of mind and intellect and ego. When he understands that, it turns moving towards the Paramatma. That's called the Ramakrishna till that the lower body is hopping up, one step, moves on and on and on and on and on in the inward journey. And when he reaches that unchanging consciousness, then he feels life's purpose is fulfilled, satisfied, and he has nothing to gain, nothing to receive. So this is a very unique meditation, and we do that in a dualistic sense. Our gurus give us the Ishta mantra, Ishta form, that is the unchanging, Sada Purna, all the time full, all the time blissful. There is no sorrow, there is no suffering, there is no pain, no, nothing to lose, nothing to gain. That we call God in dualistic language. And Vedantic language in this Shwetashwatara Upanishad is telling that is the upper bird, and that we are moving from lower bird, and one hopping, testing in one level, another hopping, dissatisfied there, try another, try another, try another. Endless trial going on, life after life, life after life, testing and experiencing this world of appearance. And the lower jiva, which is not a reality, it is a reflection of that upper bird. in the mind leg, that is tired, gets tired, and then he turns towards back and looks at the upper part. Oh, in me, there is a calm silence. There is eternal blissful state. Ah, why I don't become like that? That inner urge comes. Why I don't become like that? What is my madness? Why am I doing this? Then that comes the turning point of life. And that is called the inward journey. And that is the hopping the lower bird, running towards the upper bird. And you see, move on, again going up, up, up. A point comes when the lower bird merges into the upper bird. And that's the life's journey is over. This is a very wonderful verse that the two birds that are ever associated together and have similar names, bird. They cling to the same tree. Of these two, one eats the fruit of divergent tastes, and the other looks on without eating. Ramakrishna asked for a picture of another similar example that asked the master, M, the writer of the gospel, that can you bring me one picture? A bird just sitting on a hatching eggs, sitting on that. And he's looking, but he's looking not attached to anything. It's like a vacant look. He's looking outside, but his whole mind is in the egg and they're hatching the egg. So let his eyes will be looking in the outside world, but the mind should be focused in the upper world, conscious entity that we call God, thinking of God, feeling that I belong to God, or in Vedantic I, that is the Sakshi, Cheta, Kevalo, Nirgunasya. It is Nirguna, beyond all gunas, Cheta. It is the conscious entity which gives consciousness to body, mind, senses, and everything. I am conscious because of the consciousness reflected. And through the mind, it comes to the senses and to the organs, and every organ is now active. This is that reflection. So, thinking that Nirguna, Cheta, Kevala, that is the only reality in the whole cosmos. That is called Brahman. So, here, this is based on Shankara's commentary. So, if I go to that, it says Dwa means the do, two, the individual self identified with the intellect and supreme self. Suparna means birds flying beautifully, moving gracefully, or having similarity with the birds. That's called the Suparna. Or Sajujja, that means ever associated, ever close, ever connected. And Shakaya have similar names, have the same source manifestation, being as they are Parishasya Jate, they are clinging, Samanam Briksham, in the same single tree. Briksham is the tree. Tree means here the body. Tree means the body, owing to its similarity to a tree in point of being uprooted. That means this body is sometimes thrown away when it is dies. It is a similarity that tree gets uprooted when it falls, when it becomes old, the tree falls down. Similarly, the body falls down. In that sense, Shankara says they are identified and taken same shelter. Toyo of these two, Anna, one, the self which is under ident jiva. Anna means one. Who is that one? Who Shankara says the self, small self. That is the small self. The small self. What is small self? Identified with the intellect and which has for its limiting adjunct, the subtle body. That means which is a gross body, which is a subtle body. And that is repository of ignorance. It comes out of ignorance and desires and tendencies. That jiva eats as we are eating, seeing, tasting, touching, all the five senses. Pippalam, the fruit. Shankara says the pippala is the fruit of action. What fruit you are eating? Whatever you have the karma follow. Now you are doing karma or your past karma effect. This life is because of the prarabdha karma. You know that. Prarabdha karma means which you have done before and put an impulse. And this is going on by the impulse of that. And this karma is bringing happiness, pleasure, pain on your journey. Remember the prarabdha karma. What is prarabdha karma? What is prarabdha karma? Say? In this life. Not in this life. Prarabdha karma is coming from the back. Last life. Last life, we have so many desires, in my mind now. So many desires. The last desire when I left the body, that time I thought something. And to fructify that, this life, whole life is going on. And in this journey, what will come is almost equal predestined. You cannot avoid. Sanchita remains. There are more life after life it can be coming back to give you the direction. I have so many desires, but one desire was the cause of this life. I have so many desires, and now I plan tomorrow I'll go to New York. So one desire, just an example. If I say I want to go to New York, that's one thought. That means my mind goes, I'm here, I'll be in New York, our center. Okay? But now think, one thought, one desire, how much hassle. Immediately you will have to think, which airport shall I go? Burbank, there is a shorter flight, or Los Angeles, or to what you call Trabuco area, or whatever the local, or which is price wise less, more, this, that, which has direct flight, which is this. All this because you are sitting idly. You are very peaceful. Now one thought came, I'll go to one place. One thought. And now, okay, you purchase the ticket, credit card, this, that, afterwards, next, I'll have to get up in the early morning to catch the plane. Huh? So, get up in the early morning, take all the trouble. And you see so much crowd that you cannot make time. You are in high tension. Shall I able to reach? Shall I able to reach? The road is jammed. You didn't expect jam road. You didn't expect the trouble. Or you didn't expect a smooth drive and it was very pleasant, joyful, cheerful. According to your karma, it comes. And you reach the airport and and you sat in the plane. They say, oh, plane is delayed for 10 minutes. Then half an hour. And they say, okay, please come out. It needs some checking. You didn't expect all this. I didn't expect. I wanted to go to New York. That's one thought. To understand how our prarabdha works in our life is one example like that. So many things unwanted, which I never thought, these troubles, or some good, some bad experience. And then ultimately you reach New York. So this life is like that. It is the impact of the past thoughts and actions, and the last thought which we thought at the point of leaving the body. This life also will do. When you leave the last moment of your body, all the good, bad karma will have an impact and it direct us to push the next life. And when it happens to the next life, we'll have to understand that it is my karma. That's why Vedanta says, don't put blame on anyone. Your suffering is yours. You have created. You have forgotten that. Why it came to you or to someone and not to other person. Same accident, same place in the car. We find most of the time these examples are very often we see it. A car full of 5 people who are going and had a very serious accident. And that accident, when it happens, maybe one got totally spotted, one got severely injured, one got totally, nothing has happened, just come out. How do you explain? in the same car? No, because he sat on the right. Why you sat on the right side? Why did you not sit in the? Oh, by his belt was a little not loose. Why it was belt was loose? Why not it was given? The driver was driving recklessly, and driving so many drivers are there. Why are you in that car? Who is driving recklessly? You wanted one Uber to come. So many Ubers are there. Why that Uber came to you? So this now, it is because of my karma follow to give action, this is happening. That's the jiva enjoys or suffers, that's because of their karma. So karma follow, that is the fruits. The jiva is eating fruits, does not mean eating rasgulla or chana jalebi or not the ice cream. No. It is the result of your good bad karma. And that is bringing in your life. So that's why Vedanta says, be bold. It is your karma, it has happened. Say, I won't do that karma, I'll change my direction. But you cannot change that. You are in the plane. You cannot say, oh, why I am going through so much trouble, I'll get down. But you cannot. See, I was one time in Los Angeles airport to go from here to somewhere, I forgot where. Huh?
New York.
New York, okay. And then American Airlines and that they said, oh, wait, plane is delayed half an hour. Okay, half an hour. No, it is 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours. And 4 hours. 4 hours. I said next. And it continued. I was there about one day in the airport.
That tomorrow's flight.
The next tomorrow's flight. Are but to sleep. I didn't think that I'll be in the airport for sitting there. My room is here. I can come back. But I cannot come back. My karma pulling me here. Okay, after 2 hours probably they will leave. I'm hoping that. Many people left. This is not working. But I stayed and I suffered. So whom to blame? Why the plane? Why that particular plane was in such condition? Other planes are going before us. And we are asking, why not give me one in that? No, that is full. But someone came before me and he got it. All these things you cannot calculate. So fine, intricate activities are going on. So Vedanta says, your follow means fruits, your karma follow. What you are consciously doing now or what you have done before, this conscious doing will have effect now. That's why we can change our character. We cannot remove our suffering, but we can change our character. I can be liberated soul, but I cannot remove my suffering. Suppose a blind person realizes God, his eyes will be cured. No, blind remains blind. Knowledge will dawn in the heart. So this is called the growth of life. So the pipalam means fruits. Shankara says the fruit of action. And what is the action? Any fruit, what is the action? It is the characteristic of joy and sorrow. It will be joy, some will bring sorrow. Swadu, the divergent tastes, in the numerous forms of varieties of experiences of feelings. Anya, the other, the Supreme Lord, who is eternal, pure, intelligent, and free by nature. Very beautiful. The other soul, this is the bound soul, as I am, as we are. But there in us, there is a higher soul, Supreme Lord, who is eternal, pure, intelligent, and conscious, and always free by nature. He does not get involved into anything. He's an onlooker. He sees only. Things happen. And untouched. So this untouched condition is our divine nature. And this lower bird, because of the karma, because of the desire, because of the wrong perception or ignorance, Vedanta called Maya or Avidya, has been entangled into it. And he is caught into the trap of suffering. Therefore, the upper bird is anasnan. Anasnan means without eating anything because he has no karma. So he does not eat bad food, good food. There's no necessity. He is absolutely food saturated in his own blissful nature. Obhi chakasiti. He looks on, remains witnessing everything. Obhi chak. Obhi means from all direction. He looks this way, that way, everywhere. This is unattached, undisturbed. So that continues in the next verse 7. Samane brikse. Say, Samane brikse purusho nimagno. Purusho nimagno. Anishaya. Anishaya. Shoshati mujyamana. Shoshati mujyamana. Justam yada. Justam yada. Pasati. Pashyati annamisham annamisham asya mahimanam asya mahimanam iti vita shoka samane brikshe. In the saman one, same tree, the body tree, samane brikshe purusho nimagna, the individual soul, this, as we are now, this individual soul, nimagno, gets entangled. The upper part does not get entangled. The screen does not get entangled with the projections. In a film, in the movie hall, all the projections, the screen does not get attached. There may be heavy rain, we see, but the screen remains dry. It is fire burning, but the screen remains untouched by that fire. Similarly, Paramatman consciousness remains untouched. They say, Purusha, the individual soul, Nimagno, it gets entangled, and Anishaya, forgetting his own divine nature, Mujjamana, and becomes deluded and Shochati, laments, I lost this. What a bad fate for me. Why I did that. All this lamentation comes. So it comes to the lower bird. Lower bird who is identifying with the senses, etc. And how it is happening? Forgetting his own nature. I am divine. I am nothing to lament. I am nothing to get. So that concept does not come to the deluded person. Mujjamana means being deluded. Sochati feels miserable. And Yada when Justam, when who is worshipped by all devotees, Anyam Isham, the other, the Lord of all, Pashyati, Asya Mahimanam, his Mahima means greatness, A Pashyati realizes, Vita Soko becomes free. So sitting on the same tree, the individual soul, lower bird, gets entangled and feels miserable, being deluded. Why? Not of his forgetting or forgetfulness of his divine nature. When he sees the other, that means when you look out, we have a divine nature. We see some holy people who are calm and serene and peaceful and absorbed in their inner joy. Then what happens? The Lord of all, whom all devotees worship, who is inside, and realizes that all greatness belongs to him, then he is relieved of his misery. So he focuses this side, and when it focuses inside and sees that inner perception of the truth, Lord God, who is worshipped by all, when he knows that, then he is relieved from the misery. So this gives a clear direction. Do you get entangled into the misery or you get out of the misery? If you want to get out of the misery, look back and don't look this side. This side, you are deluded, you will be desperately identified with the things and you will have to cry. Sometimes you will have to smile. And this is the way of life going on continuously. So I'm reading the Swami's book. In the first half notes, in the first half, the mantra points out that the forgetfulness of man's divine affinity, whether we take that affinity to means Mean. To mean one of the identity with the Supreme, or one of the inseparable loving relationship with Him, is the root of all our miseries. So we have forgotten our Chirosakha. There is a song, Rabindranath Tagore. Chirosakha, bhulo na. Eh? Chedo na. Oh. Oh Lord, you are my eternal friend. Don't go away, living. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. It's prayer. Rabindranath Tagore song. Oh, Chirosakha, Chedona. So here is also same. Oh, this because we have separated from that our eternal friend, eternal consciousness. That's why all this suffering. And whether we take the affinity to mean one identity with the Supreme or inseparable loving relationship with Him, that is the root cause of all our miseries. The second half says how many free frees himself from all misery by establishing his true relationship with divine. Of forgetting that divine connection, forgetting that eternal friendship, how we are crying and weeping, millions and millions and billions, how remembering that and identifying with the real nature, they are all free from suffering. See, forgetting that what is called our main problem that we have forgotten God. We have forgotten our real divine nature. That's why all the Vedanta classes they give the example of the 10th person, 9%, not forgetting the 1%. They give the example of the golden chain or bracelet or something. Keep somewhere, it is on there. Forgetting that, we search everywhere. Forgetting God, we search joy everywhere, we search protection everywhere. And we are so dependent on outside. And outside cannot give us any protection. So fragile, so momentary. All vanishes in split second. When the fire was going on, huh, who is helping whom? So only surrender to God that gives inner peace. What is going on and inner tranquility. So we are off from inner tranquility because we don't connection with Him. I don't feel affinity for that. That's called bhakti. Name bhati kinchit. Bhaktir bhagascha bhajanam. Devotion, bhakti, renunciation, bhagat, and bhajan. Bhavavedokari. It is capable of removing all the problems of bondage. But I am such a fool. I have no love for you, O Lord. Therefore, O Ramakrishna, you are my only refuge. When that comes, that is your turning point. And that when satisfied, you are a liberated soul. But we are forgetting our internal nature, divine nature, which is the pure sense all the time with us. Forgetting his divine nature means the word anishaya is in the original, literally means by helplessness. Is interpreted in this way here because the nature of that helplessness is its very cause, namely ignorance or the forgetfulness of the soul's real nature, that is the divine nature. Sankara's view is so Anishaya is the origin, forgetting his divine nature. By forgetting his divine literally means Anishaya means helplessness. But here Sankara says it means the meaning is the interpreted in this way as the because the nature of that helplessness is its very cause, namely ignorance. Because of ignorance, we feel helplessness. There is a support for you, and you think that the support is not there. Then you can cry. If some friend is there to help you, and you don't look at that help, even he's pushing his hand to protect you, but you don't look at that side, so you suffer. But when you see behind me is that big power, That's why Swamiji used to say, no, I am Ramakrishna's child. What do I care for? I can crush the stars, unhinge the earth, throw away into the void. No? Do you know? I am Ramakrishna's child. So that is the connection. That power is behind us, all of us. But we never understand that, never identify that. That forgetfulness of the soul's real nature is divine affinity. Say that is the problem of ours. The other means the dualists take this to mean that God is separate from the soul. Advaitins, however, harmonize it with their doctrine by contending that he is spoken as the other, only in relation to the soul in its embodied state, and that the expression does not therefore deny their identity from the standpoint of the highest truth. And worship means here implies that all true spiritual aspirants should worship Him, capital, and that even identity with the divinity is realized through the grace of He bestowed on sincere worshippers. So here, worship, whom all devotees worship, this Paramatman, whom people worship not knowing. They worship in the name of Kali, Durga, Shiva, or they worship in the name of other incarnations. But they do not know the one truth, that it is implies that spiritual aspirant should worship Him, only Him, and even identity with the divinity is realized through the grace He bestows on the sincere worshiper. By His grace, we can identify ourselves. That's why Vedanta never ignores the dualistic idea of connection or grace of God. It is not contradictory. Though I am that, but there is a grace of God. Because so long you are in duality, there is a God. So God can do that, help us. And He is our friend, Chirosaka. Greatness means really refers to the whole of the cosmic working, of which one's individual life and activities are only an insignificant speck. He realizes his greatness. When one moves towards that higher reality, he understands his greatness. What is his greatness? That means his cosmic play going on. The whole of the cosmic working of the divine, and which our life is only one speck of that. One who has vivid consciousness of impulsion of the divinity behind everything in the universe is no longer moved by egoism in his activities. Absence of egoism frees him from attachment, and the absence of attachment from the misery of the worldly life. So, when one realizes the greatness of his own self, means the divinity which is behind, and he feels that I am a spark of that. So I am that divine, and behind me is that infinite energy. So they become free from the suffering of life. Here, so let the Swami Lokesharananda Swami says something. Let us read. The individual self and the cosmic self occupy the same tree. Steeped in ignorance, the individual self thinks it is the body. As a result, it feels helpless against adverse circumstances and is unhappy. The same individual self, however, can create favorable circumstances by spiritual practices. Now, this individual self feels unhappy because it is looking at the external objects only. But the same individual self can create favorable circumstances by spiritual practice and can then see itself as the cosmic self. We can see that we are not Jiva, but we are Shiva, which is free from all attributes. When it does so, it realizes its own majestic identity and overcomes all sorrow. The cosmic self and the individual self are like two birds, very much alike and also closely related to each other. They occupy the same tree, that is, the same body. The self is like a bird because both are superb. They go fast. Su means good, and Parna means wings, and also going. So the body is compared to a tree because the body is short lived, just as a tree is. Now, the individual self is a victim of avidya, ignorance. We are all the victims of ignorance. And that's why one result of the ignorance is that it thinks it is the body. And because it identifies itself with the body, it thinks all that happens to the body happens to it. If the body is in good condition, it feels happy. But if there is any trouble in the body, it is unhappy. It is like a bird eating good and bad fruits. If it eats a good fruit, it is pleased. If the fruit is bad, it is disappointed. This is how an ignorant person spends his life. Sometimes he is happy, sometimes he is unhappy. He is not his own master. He is entirely dependent upon the circumstances in which he lives. So that is the condition of ordinary individual, lower bird. But what is the cosmic self? It is like the bird on the tree that behaves as a spectator. That's why it's Drik Drisho Vivek. That entire book is discussing on this point. What is Drik and Drisho? Drik, Drosta, who is the subject, who is observing everything. So that means the observer is untouched by anything. Like a mirror. Mirror does not care whether a good face is coming or a bad face is looking, or whatever comes, it reflects. It remains untouched. It doesn't stay there. It doesn't get stained. In our life should be like that. Anything comes, see for the time being, and then forget. Only see the shining nature of the self. What is the cosmic self like? It is like the bird on the tree that behaves as a spectator. It is never tempted to eat any fruit, good or bad. It is its own master and is supreme. It is one without a second. It is everywhere, in every being. It is pure, free, never subject to any modification. It is unique. It is always happy. The individual self need not feel condemned to stay miserable always, as we are. No, we need not have to keep ourselves depressed. Oh, I am worthless. I am gone. It is not necessary. All it needs is to help of a good teacher and to strive under his guidance to remove the veil from which its eyes are concealed. And that is no other than the cosmic self. So only to move towards that. It is the question of that moving towards that truth. Our ignorance has kept us separate, and one jiva should move towards the witness consciousness. It is a question of intensifying your study and of the scriptures, your meditation, and practice of discrimination between what is real and what is not real, between what is only pleasing and what is really beneficial. By living a life of self restraint and by sustained spiritual practices, you acquire what is called chitta shuddhi, a pure mind. It is this pure mind that reveals to you your real nature, identity. The identity that has so long eluded you, you now see that you are the cosmic self. Okay? So this is the explanation of Swami Lokeshwarananda. These books are based on Shankara's commentary. Shankara's commentary will be a little dry, When you go to philosophical thing, it is little dry, and we can talk. But to understand the philosophy, we have already discussed that you have to feel that in our same body, the two realities are there. One is the jiva consciousness, one is our real witness consciousness. So this jiva consciousness is only reflection. And this jiva consciousness experiences happiness and misery, pleasure and pain through the mind and through the senses, identifying itself and thinking that I am disconnected with my friend, eternal friend. I do not know. There is the divine self who no one of us knows. And that's why it said that it is the Sakha, their friend, eternal friend. But great friend remembers us, but small friend forgets the great friend. But when we get battered by the world occasionally, then you look back. When the society hits you, beats you, or friend beats you, or you love someone, you get a good blow from them, then you say, ha ha ha, what is that? And then look back, oh, here is the peaceful, eternal witness, unchanged and undisturbed. And I am disturbed. Turn back, do sadhana, go in and feel the identity. This uh, Shankara's commentary, because few minutes are here, I'll just read out. On the same tree, the individual soul remains drowned or entangled, as it were, and so being deluded, it moans because of its importance. When it realizes thus the other, the adorable Lord and His glory, then it becomes liberated from sorrow. Then Sankara gives this idea, Samana Briksha in the same tree, that means the body, and that is Sankara's commentary. Purusha, the individual soul, the enjoyer, being heavily laden with ignorance, desire, actions, results, attachments. Nimagna means remain drowned like a goat shell in the water of the ocean, convinced that the body is the self. Having such an idea, this indeed I am, son of such and such a person, grandson of such and such. I am thin, I am fat, I am such a one, I am perfect, I am imperfect, I am happy, I am sorrowful. There is nothing other than this. It is born, it dies because associated with the relative and friends in the world. Ataha, and so mujyamana, therefore being deluded, coming to have due to indiscrimination, diverse states under the influence of evil. So chati, it moans, it suffers pain. Anishvaya, because of its importance. Anishvaya is the feeling of helplessness. Oh, that Sankara takes the word Anishvaya means helplessness. And helplessness, what it does? Helplessness thinks that I am not capable of anything. My son is lost, my wife is dead, what is the need of my life, etc. It moans because of that. He himself falling into birth as a guru, a lower animal, a human being, etc., and suffering sorrow is the same someday shown the path of yoga by some very kind person as a result of his accumulation of virtuous deeds during many lives, and then becoming concentrated in mind, owing to non-injury, truthfulness, celibacy, and renunciation of everything, and endowed with the control of the mind, when that time comes, when Pashyati, it realizes in meditation that there is the other one who is distinct from the limiting adjunct of the tree, that is the upper bird, who is free from transmigration, who is untouched by hunger and thirst, etc. The inmost of all, the Supreme Self. Isham is the Lord of all. Justam is adored and worshipped through many paths and many yogas. That means Paramatman is worshipped. I am this, the self of all, the same, indwelling all beings, and not the other who is conditioned by limiting adjuncts arising from ignorance. So, his divine manifestation, Mahimanam, the glory, when they understand this glory in the form of the Supreme Lord, when it realizes thus, then it becomes Vita Sukha, liberated from sorrow, becomes free from the whole ocean of sorrow, that is, it becomes self fulfilled. Or it may be another way, or when it sees the other, the adorable Lord, as the glorious state of this very indwelling self, then it becomes free from sorrow. Anyway, the same thing repeatedly we have discussed from different angle. Major idea is that in the same body, in this personality, we are carrying two identities. One, the lower jiva identity, which we are whole day engrossed into it, and I, my, and everything, and that is creating the dualities of life, suffering, pain, pleasure, etc. But when we turn back, that is our time. The upper world, look at the upper world by meditation, by prayer, by discrimination, by analysis. Then we go closer and closer and closer. And as we go closer and closer, you can feel the joy, charm, warmth of that spiritual essence. So that is the way we can conquer our lower self. So this is the end of our life's journey when we can reach that identity who is inside us. Okay, so now we can have some. Acha, we can have some question, no? If anyone has any question, yeah.
Raj, I have a question about Mahadevi.
Mahadevi, I have no discussion in Mahadevi. You
Yeah,
have to
but
come to the subject.
Adi Parashakti,
To
I just wanted to know, like, she's been referred to as like with different terminologies, like with different names, and like across, from the beginning of time. But when you think about her, like from all your research,
yeah, same thing. That we are talking about in the Upanishad. It says eternal consciousness in a Vedantic term. In Bhakti school, we'll say Mahadevi, Sri Devi, Mahalakshmi. All this you can replace it, no problem.
So that one name that you would give her is Mahadevi.
Yeah. So here is a question. It is generally said that our power of consciousness helps us to discriminate between right and wrong. Why then such instances happen where we do wrong or sinful thoughts, things without realizing we are doing so? Why does our power of consciousness fail to function and guide us properly in such circumstances? Oh, this why it happens, because you are ignorant. And in ignorance, when we are in ignorance, we see the wrong things. When you are in a dark room, in half light, you see one thing for the other. When this broad daylight comes, you don't question, you see things as it is. So this is the question, this instant, when you do wrong things, because you are in ignorance, because you do not know you have a higher divinity. Well, we do not know that we are not bound by this limitation of body and mind. We don't understand that we are the jiva and there is a Shiva in me and their eternal friend, but disconnected. What is disconnection? Ignorance. And in ignorance, we create so many confusions. All the world fighting with each other, every person is fighting with each other, is only misunderstanding. If both of them come to reason out, and then much clarity comes, then see most of the confusions goes away. Someone is standing on one firm conviction, not focusing on the rational part of it, naturally gets biased. So if one can really truly analyze the situation as Vedanta teaches us every day, this wrongdoing will be lessened. We give too much value to the external world, which is momentary joy, momentary pleasure, momentary uh, achievement, momentary failure. We forget our eternal gain. We are so fools, we give value, much value to the momentary gain, momentary loss. This moment, I conquered with all the foolishness and idiotic behavior. But we are losing our eternal grandeur of our character. Yes, I am divine. And what am I doing? If that awareness comes, if we look back to the upper bird as we are reading again and again, that witness consciousness, he never gets attached. He's onlooker. He's always peaceful. He's eternal, changeless, absolute. No question of lack of joy there. But we are searching here joy in ignorance, forgetting that eternal truth. So we have to go back to our mistake, to correct it, not to focus so much on the mundane things of the world as we are doing. So this is the practice, and practice is to be done. And as much we practice, our mind will be clear, and the mind will show us the right thing. Pure mind and pure Atman are the same. How do I differentiate? How do I remember between small I and big I in day-to-day life? Small I, you always know. This is whatever I'm talking you, it is I'm talking to the small I. I'm dreaming to the small I. I'm eating to the small I. And what is the big I? Big I is the power behind. He hides himself at the back of all experiences. Without that, this body, dead body, no experience. But with that presence of that body, that reality, we call Ramakrishna. We call what is Adda this
Adi
Kali,
Parashakti.
Adi Parasakti. You give name, whatever name you give, get identified with that. That's why we pray to all the gods and goddesses, all those hymns. Hymns and praises are for what? So that we can connect with them. We can pray. Pray means connect. When we pray, then we get connected with that principle to whom we are praying. And that to whom we are praying only Brahman, only in one name or another form. So this practice is to be done. So, and here is the question: how I differentiate? How do I remember between small I and big I? You have to understand that whatever you are doing, minus God, that is small I. And whenever we can do anything with adding God within, then it's big I. But big I does not reflect so much because our mind is very clouded, full of dirt and dust. As much one has progressed, they can understand the voice of the big I. Voice of the big I, they can hear. They say, I saw a dream, I got a guidance in my dream. Even in dream time, they get the guidance. When mind becomes pure, good mind gives good dream. Or a confused mind creates confused dream. People sometimes dream horrible dreams. All the impressions of bad nature impression, you have seen something in a television, you have heard something horrible, and that they all jumble up and come into the mind. But when mind is becoming pure, Ramakrishna said it's good to see some divine dreams, no? In the gospel there are some examples. So how to make the mind pure? That is the point. As much we progress, we understand it is my small I, and as I think that see, small I is our every day we know what we do is the small I. I love, I hate, I respect, I disrespect, I talk, I sleep, I eat, I interact, I drive. Everything is small I functioning. But when you say it is, O Lord, I am your servant, then it becomes servant side. And servant side is better than this I in which we are living. Or Vedantic way, I am that, if you are bold enough. So that whatever body mind is doing, I am not doing. So these are the different ways to practice to get connected with the bigger I. In small I, we are very poor. We are very insignificant. We are very lost. We have no hope. What Trump will do, we do not know. We are every day, and really, when we are thinking of this side, yes, there is a truth. But in your divine glory, who can touch you? Where is there anything? The whole universe, you are identified with the source of the whole universe. What do you fear about? But but you cannot stay there. We may say so. It is intellectual. But to feel that needs the purity of the heart. And it takes time to develop. These types of thought we have analyzed at length today, how we can feel that inner, in the same body, the same tree, the lower bird, the jiva, as I am feeling the small I, feeling the universe, feeling the forgetting my eternal friend who is sitting inside. We call it the Suddhatma, pure Atman, witness consciousness, or you call your Ishta Devata, standing over there. Detached, detached, detached. So how to connect with that? That is the point. Remember, remember, remember. That's why Vedanta said, say day and night, I am that, I am that, I am that. Swamiji used to Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Shankaracharya also said that. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. No? So that is the Vedantic way. If you are familiar with that, do that. If it is not, then think God is there for me. He's seated in my heart all the time. Why am I ignoring him? Why am I not looking at him all day? Why am I not going to him every now and then? If he is my eternal friend. You are going to the fake friends in the world, making friendship which is very superficial. And you are very happy that my good friend, an eternal friend who is seated all the time in the heart, who is giving sustenance to our breathing, my seeing, my feeling, my hearing, I can ignore easily because he's a good guy. He does not tease us, he does not give a slap back. You look, he'll be happy. If you don't look, okay, Baba, you stay. So that is the fate of all good people, always. They don't get any praise. Who is sitting here, or some of the sadhus say, but in the morning he comes out of his bed and is waiting when a devotee will come and he will be happy to see him. But we come, devotee came, look right and deep pranam and go away. I said, Hari, he didn't talk to me. He didn't, I'm talking, it's a very personal way, no? Thinking as your father, your grandfather is sitting somewhere and waiting for you. Similarly, the Lord is waiting for us day and night. But we have no time to look at that side. Even we say chanting mantra, mantra, mantra. Well, chanting mantra is going on, word is going on, and here I am going in New York. I'm in Boston. I'm in San Francisco. So this is the thing. It should be synchronized, synchronized, synchronized. To feel connected with my eternal friend. That is one word. Chirashakha, eternal friend. Who have never abandoned me in my death, in my life, in my sleep, in my waking, in my pleasure, in my pain, in my anguish, in my frustration. It is all the time with me. But I never care for him. So to care for that more. That caring is coming close to him. And that practice we can do. That is the only thing in our hand. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam Astu. Tomorrow will be gospel class and I will be giving the class. Tomorrow 7:30. Thank you. Jai Ma.